Hey everyone, this is Disc Junkie, and welcome back to Secondhand Sickness. And so today I'm back at the car boot sale. Last weekend was the car boot sale premiere, my favorite car boot sale. So it was a bit of a slow start, not too many finds, so not super exciting. But it still looks pretty packed today, so I'm very excited and we are just gonna get into it. So yeah, let me just go ahead and step out of the car. And we're gonna go ahead and pick up our bag. The sun is shining, it's just an absolutely fantastic weather. And yeah, I mean, I gotta say, as usual, I'm just very excited, so let's go. Okay, so kind of slim pickings today, surprisingly. I was expecting more sellers, to be honest, because not quite as packed as it was on the premiere weekend, but you know, still pretty interesting. Did find a small little bundle of stuff, so we are gonna go through that. And I don't know, I might hit some of the local secondhand shops, see if I find anything once I'm here, and maybe just do some stops on the way back. But yeah. If nothing else, I'll just see you in a bit to go through my finds. So stay tuned. Alright, so I'm back at my reviewing table and it's high time that we check out the finds of today. Now, there won't be too many of them, but hopefully you'll find them interesting. And I'm gonna start off with the one that is most generic and probably the least interesting. This is a fairly common decorative little bird cage. I got this for 30 Swedish crowns, which is about €3. It's definitely not really anything special, but I'm always keeping an eye out for these types of cages because I would like to get a variety of them to add to the Texas Chain Saw Massacre room, simply to keep stuff on display. And yeah, this is a very sort of modern one. I would have loved to get something more rusty, a bit older, but for the sake of, you know, paying 30 Swedish crowns, I figured it might be worth it. So that is the first pickup of the day, and it is quite large on screen, I realize, so I'm just going to place that a little bit to the side for now. Next up, we have something which is also part of the Texas Chain Saw Massacre universe, something which I tend to pick up with that in mind to sort of place in my Texas Chain Saw Massacre room. And that is something that I already own way too many of, namely a very, very big sledgehammer. And this is not just any type of sledgehammer. This is essentially a homemade welded hammer, which comes with a metal base, as well as obviously the metal sledge head. And you can tell that this is quite a solid piece. And the reason for why I picked this up, because this felt a bit unique, is that it's got a very long shaft or handle to it, which is also basically just a metal tube. So someone definitely crafted this themselves. But this is also quite good to have on a farm, not just because it is a very sort of nice weight and a bit long. So yeah, I can definitely see myself going into battle with this if I had to defend my home, but hopefully it won't come to that. But I wanted to say that when you're living on a farm, you do make use of these kinds of things. I have, you know, used a sledgehammer many times to, I don't know, just, you know, hammering down like fence poles in the ground, stuff like that. Or generally, you know, there's always situations where you end up needing a sledgehammer when you're on a farm. So yeah, even if I'm not just keeping this in the Texas Chain Saw Massacre room, I figured, you know, it might actually come in practical use for sure at some days. And this is so long that I'm hardly able to fit it in frame, but it seems like it's gonna be okay. So that's the second, and actually the second to last, because now we move over to the last item, and I'm not sure if that is actually second to last, but in any case, let's check out the last item. Just 3 items today, but I did save the weirdest one for last. And this is something that I stumbled over at a unexpected table. I walked up to this guy who essentially had primarily fishing gear, and I'm not much of a fisherman. I'm not really interested in fishing at all. It's never been a hobby of mine. But then I saw this thing way in the back, and I almost just didn't see it because it was being hidden by a bunch of rubbish. And it is essentially a paperweight style piranha head. So, I mean, why do I buy this? I don't know. I just saw this and it felt like such a weird, creepy, sort of, I don't know, bad taste type item. And we can go in a bit close on this just to see some of the detail. But yeah, this is essentially just like a glass dome, and the underside is just like this sort of felt material. So you're meant to keep this on a desk. But yeah, it also has a small logo which says Brazil, so presumably this is a souvenir from Brazil. But I really liked the look of this, and it felt like another one of these details which would definitely work in my Texas Chain Saw Massacre room as a piece of sort of home decor for the mentally disturbed. And yeah, it is really interesting to just look at these in detail. You know, you can see inside the mouth there, and it looks like they have painted part of the mouth in orange, or like the tongue. And I'm not really sure, maybe that is the natural color, but it does look a bit weird. So in any case, definitely a very, very strange item to find, and definitely a very disturbing piece for my Texas Chain Saw Massacre room. But that is essentially it for this video. I know we didn't get too much stuff today, and I gotta say I'm a little bit disappointed in terms of how many things I ended up with. But overall, I still think that these items that I did find are really, really cool. So hopefully you think that they are cool as well. And yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. So I just want to say thank you very much for watching. As usual, hope to see you all next time.